Today, President Joe Biden tackled cybersecurity concerns during a meeting with leaders of some of the country's top tech companies, including Google and Apple. President Biden called cybersecurity, quote, the core national security challenge they're facing. The president says his administration is discussing ways to shore up the nation's cybersecurity. This included measures to hold cybercriminals accountable. So joining me now to talk about the ever-increasing cybersecurity threat is Jack Kudale, CEO of cyber insurance company Cowbell Cyber. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Great to be with you.
All right, Jack. So the White House released several initiatives today that they're asking these tech companies to work on. Which one stuck out to you?
You know, cyber risk is the greatest threat to our economy, and especially it's a really big step in what happened at the White House today, especially the one with AWS offering multi-factor authentication and security training to all. That is really important, and the one that the businesses and individuals really can benefit from.
Yeah, let's jump to that real quick, because right now they're saying there is a serious staffing shortage, and that is going to be a key component to fighting cybersecurity in the future. Tell us a little bit about the staffing shortages that you see and some of the other commitments that these other companies have also offered to get people trained to do these cybersecurity jobs.
Cybersecurity staffing is indeed one of the biggest issue, but it goes beyond that. It's not an excuse for businesses to not have basic protection for cybersecurity, such as having a multi-factor authentication, having a data backup that is stored somewhere offline, or simply having an incident response plan so that when there is a cyber attack and an event that occurs, you are ready to respond and recover from that cyber event and attack.
You mentioned the two-step authentication. The White House has been pushing that, but you can't really make tech companies do that. So are the tech companies, a lot of these tech companies that people use every day, are they amenable to using two-step authentication as a way to continue to prevent cybersecurity breaches?
In particular, the small to medium-sized enterprises that we serve, there are 32 million businesses in the U.S.
Wow.
It is a necessity. It is a must-have, especially multi-factor authentication. Ransomware attack, the root cause is usually minuscule compared to the impact it has, and it's oftentimes just clicking on a malicious link in an email that really can start a cyber ransomware attack. So it's really important that multi-factor authentication, backups, having an incident response plan, but more importantly, just improving the cyber hygiene, the cybersecurity awareness among the employees and as an individual is really important to really tame this threat that we all are facing together nationwide.
Jack, as a country, a lot of people would say we're behind right now in kind of attacking this growing threat. We saw what happened with Colonial Pipeline. What needs to happen for us to meet the demand to prevent these widespread cybersecurity threats that we're seeing sometimes on a daily basis?
First and foremost, businesses, the ransomware can cause a tremendous disruption in businesses, operations, as well as our supply chain. So we have to be ready. And the first thing starts, it's not just about prevention and detection of cyber attack, meaning applying cybersecurity controls as part of the business operation. It's also about response and recovery, right? So many attacks happen despite having a good prevention and detection strategies. But how do you respond to a cyber event when 5:30 p.m. on a Friday night that you get a ransom call? So what you do as a business, and then how do you recover from that? Most often, ransom demand is not only the expense. There is a business interruption that follows. There is data restoration. There is notification expense. There is credit monitoring. So businesses suffer through so many different type of losses that you really want to be ready to be able to respond and recover from on the other side of the event.
Yeah, I mean, the toll it can take is just insurmountable sometimes, especially when we saw what happened with Colonial Pipeline. Jack Kudale, CEO of Cowbell Cyber, thank you for joining us and providing your insight into this big topic for us tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Sure.